Welcome everyone to today's new moon eclipse readings. We are about to have, literally at the time of doing these readings, we have a new moon eclipse in Leo tomorrow. But whenever you find these readings, if you have been guided to them, there is almost certainly a message here for you today. Now, eclipse season is, or the energy around eclipse season, therefore the energy that's around you when you find these readings, the veil is thin. Things can happen very fast, very suddenly. During eclipse season, it's an incredible portal of opportunities, like a window where we can really connect with the past, sometimes even past lives, and look at how the past has affected the present, and also realign in the present moment so that we can shape shift the direction of our future. So it's an amazing portal of energy. So beautiful souls, we have 3 cards and 3 beautiful crystals to choose from to help to guide you in to the right reading or readings for you. Before I show these to you, let me just say welcome to everybody. Welcome back if you are returning and you are already a Moon Magic Super Soul. It is such an honor to read for you. And beautiful souls, welcome back. And welcome if you're brand new. You are so welcome here. Just check out the comments. You'll see that you are amongst amazing people. This is a really beautiful community that we're building. It's an honor to be connected with all of you. And at such an extraordinary time of evolution for humanity. It's mind-blowing. We are in the middle of it all, really. So amazing times. Let's find out what these readings are about for you. Let's find out maybe what new beginnings are happening, what opportunities are around in this eclipse energy. Or indeed, whenever you come to these readings, what opportunities to shift, to shape shift, to change, almost like to change your destiny. So let's check in and see. Now, these look like quite, I want to say quite, they're quite strong energies, these cards, I feel. So very powerful times. It really feels like a reflection of the energy that's here. So let me show you. Pile 1, we have the card of Nyx. And this is sitting with the Herkimer Diamond quartz crystal, quartz point. It's an extraordinary energy. This was gifted to me by a very dear friend. Thank you so much. You know who you are. So absolutely amazing crystal, amazing energy. So that's pile 1. Pile 2, we have the card of self-sacrifice. And this is with a fuchsite crystal. Really, again, very powerful, very stunning crystal. Let me show this to you. Absolutely amazing. So that's pile 2. And pile 3, we have the card of overcritical. This is for pile 3. And pile 3 is sitting with the beautiful amethyst crystal. Okay, so that is pile 3. Okay, so beautiful souls. I'm going to leave the video running for a few moments to give you a little bit more time in case you just really need to get yourself centered. If there's big stuff going on in your life and you really are seeking some help or advice or guidance around it, then try to focus on what those things are and see which of the piles you're drawn to. In a moment, I'm also going to ask the universe. So if you're not sure what pile or piles to be connected to, tune in with the next part of the video and we'll ask the universe. And then I will see you in the readings. Welcome everybody. Let's ask the universe which pile or piles are suggested for today. We'll ask the universe to reveal the pile or indeed piles. Piles 1 and 2 are recommended for today, beautiful souls. I'll see you in the readings in just a moment. Pile 1, welcome to your reading. You have the card of Nyx and the Herkimer Diamond Crystal. Pretty amazing combination. Now, I'm actually going to read to you from this book. These are the Dark Moon Oracles, simply because it's so in alignment, this card, with eclipse season. So let me read this to you. Nyx, embrace the mystery. Nyx is the Greek goddess of the night and mystery, embodying the power of darkness as a space for intuition, insight, and transformation. Right now you may feel scared and lost. The path ahead seems unclear and you're uncertain where to go or what to come next, or what will come next. But Nyx is here to remind you that you don't need to have all the answers right now. Nyx has the power of precognition. This is the bit that's so in alignment with eclipse energy. The ability to see beyond the veil and offer glimpses of what is to come, and aligns with Piscean energy. Your message is that the darkness surrounding you right now isn't something to fear. It is a space where you can connect with your intuition, where secrets and insights are waiting to be revealed, and it's a part of the path that leads to a better future. Believe it or not, Nyx asks you to trust that what you need will come when the time is right. In the stillness of the dark, your subconscious mind is working and visions of the future are starting to shape. Let go of fear, lean into the mystery. What you need to know will reveal itself in time. So you can see why I wanted to read that to you, because it is so in alignment with the energy of eclipse season, a portal of energy where we can literally sit in the moment of now, in the stillness of now, and understand how the past has brought us to where we are today and what we can do right now, what is revealed to us now to shape shift the future. So let's find out more for you. Your first card, Angel of Challenges. Okay, so I am seeing, much as Nyx suggested, that there is a feeling of challenge around you. What else do we have here? She's saying this one. Engage compassion. Okay. Let's move these aside. You know, I feel I actually am having a very big pull to use a past life deck of cards. I'm actually going to press the pause button and get those. I'll just do that. Okay, so I've been and got my past life deck, which I feel is really needed. That's really speaking to me now. Okay, something missing, intimacy or fertility issues. And relationship, repeat, shift, release, or enjoy. This does seem to me to be a relationship reading, most specifically in terms of patterns. Now, if this is not resonating with you, this may not be the right reading for you, although we'll follow through and see what comes through, because it could be that you're connected with somebody or you're observing somebody who's tangled in some form of relationship pattern. But the challenge seems to me to be around a relationship pattern of some sort repeating. So for some of you, it could literally be an issue around intimacy. It could be that you're with somebody who's unable to really connect with intimacy. Relationship repeat. We've got another deck here just to draw from. Let's just see what comes through here. And then you have got that beautiful dark moon. It looks like an eclipse, doesn't it? Dark moon, I let go, I release, I am within perfect possibility. I wonder if you are needing to let go of a perspective or a belief. Let's put those, slide all your cards up. I'm also hearing diamond in the rough. feel there's another card here from this deck for us. May we kindly ask for another? And there it is. Okay. Beautiful imagery. I know my shadow side and I work to willingly transform aspects of it. Moon Goddess Hecate. Okay, how interesting. And Nyx, also a goddess of, I think, a Greek goddess of shadow and light. Okay, yeah, I think this is a relationship connection of some sort. Now, this could be, as I said, I think for some of you, it's a feeling like that something is missing. Now, if you are single, searching for love, or you're in any kind of relationship and you're feeling like something is missing, it's somewhere within your scope of relationships. It feels as though there is a pattern, maybe a pattern of expectation that needs to be released. Now, eclipse season, we can do exactly this. It's interesting that the energy of this eclipse moon, that is literally tomorrow, is in big, bold, bright Leo, being visible, being seen, an opportunity to embrace happiness. I wonder whether you are needing to be able to... Also, I feel like some of you, maybe you need to actually allow yourself to receive help, to receive assistance, to maybe to let someone support you. I feel like this is about letting someone in. Now, whether that is letting somebody in who you already know, or actually just about letting someone in so that you can then attract, the right person, or indeed the right people in your world. Let's see what we are shown here. But it's definitely a relationship reading. You have the Two of Wands showing up in a big way, and the Chariot. Okay, right. Now, the Two of Wands is about moving forwards. And so is the Chariot, though the Chariot can indicate a challenge. Maybe you, again, light and dark coming through here. You have the Prince of Wands. You have the Temperance card. You have the Queen of Cups, the Seven of Cups, the Knight of Swords, the card of Justice, and the King of Cups. Now, isn't that interesting? You have the King and the Queen. Now, this is completely non-gender specific, whatever your relationships are, or your relationship is, or whatever you're searching for or wanting. There's relationships come in all different shapes and sizes, but the fact that we have a Queen and a King of Cups in a reading that is very clearly about relationships would suggest that we are talking about the potential of a relationship here. With Temperance and Justice, there needs to be balance, there needs to be give and take. With the Seven of Cups, I think this is suggesting that there is possibility around you. That passions could be running high. And with the Prince of Wands as well, passions could be running high. This is the Page of Wands in a traditional deck. There could be chemistry around you, literally, spark, chemistry. If you've had a discord, maybe we need to look at the Rainbow Bridge of healing here. There could be opportunity to heal. But I have to say, I feel more as if there is opportunity within relationship, and it comes like a bolt out of the blue, like lightning. It may even be that it takes you by surprise. It catches you unaware. And it could literally be that someone arrives and you're bowled over by the strength of your feeling. And yet, I think there is hesitancy around, or concern around whether this, maybe how this might pan out. And I think that the reading is largely asking you to let go of perfection of yourself or anyone else, And I do think it's emotionally intense, that's for sure. It's got emotional depth, emotional intensity. It's really interesting. Shift, release, or enjoy. This could even be someone you've known in a past life. What I feel is that you are in a position where it's or you, if you're not, you will be very soon, to proceed in some way with a relationship, and it really does feel like a make or break. For some of you, you could be facing something that feels like a deal breaker. You know, what if you are in a connection with somebody and you want the shape of your relationship? For example, what if one of you wants children, the other one doesn't? How might that be? You know, is it I feel like there's something like a deal breaker kind of energy around this. And because it's a general reading and it can apply to, as I said, relationships come in all different shapes and sizes, and your circumstances are going to be unique to you. But I think you're faced with something that you're really questioning. I almost feel, do you proceed because something is missing? Literally, there's something that it feels like a deal breaker. Do you or don't you proceed? There's chemistry, there's spark, but there is some kind of I think there's some kind of a discord or a challenge, or, you know, do you compromise or not? How interesting. With the Seven of Cups, perhaps there is a need to be realistic and to be very real with yourself about the nature of this relationship, whether it really can work or not. And as I said, it may be that this is an intimate partnership. It might not be. But I do feel there is something about being very real about whether this is proceedable, because there's connection, there's resonance, there's chemistry, but can it really work? I think we should get a bit more information, see if I can find out a bit more. Obviously, the circumstance around you it's unique to you. My sort of questioning around it is, you know, I'm kind of asking, because it could be that for some of you, it's about getting out of your own way, releasing any kind of ideas of perfection of yourself or another, and compromise, engage compassion. For others, it's perhaps engage compassion regardless. For others, it may be, do you know, this is a deal breaker. You know, I really can't continue with this. Perhaps you need to cut cords with the Knight of Swords, because you really recognize this is not going to be balanced. It's not going to really, because, you know, there needs to be a balance here of giving and receiving, or whatever that might be. So I feel this is a bit of a making and breaking. For some of you, the reading could be saying, get out of your own way, compromise. For others, it could be saying, look, really, do you actually want to compromise? Can you continue to compromise? Something along those lines, really. So you have the Seven of Pentacles. Okay. Followed by the Star, followed by the Empress. How interesting. This is a card of patience. Something is worth waiting for. And you have the Empress. I actually feel predominantly what we seem to be seeing here. And then we have the Fool. Okay, new beginning. I suspect for most of you, actually, this is saying that this is worth waiting for. And I think it is potentially worth persevering and investing in with the Empress. The Empress is a card of abundance. I think there can be a new beginning. So I think predominantly the message I think that's coming through is that this is even though it's feeling like a make or break or a deal breaker, I think a compromise, I think something can be worked through here, actually. I think there can be a new beginning and something can be processed and worked through. And interestingly enough, part of the challenge could be either in you or in somebody else, the inability to feel that, almost like reacting too quickly, leaving too fast, not not staying the course because it sort of feels like it's all or nothing. I think your reading is actually saying it's not all or nothing, really. And I do think your reading is largely advising that this is worth investing in, and a new beginning can be, a fresh new start can be found here. And of course, now in the energy of the portal of eclipse season, this is the time to shift those changes from within, open ourselves to move forwards in a balanced way, and shape shift the future by, I feel this is largely about removing the blocks rather and processing them, diving in deeply rather than feeling as though almost like nothing will work. That seems to be the message that is coming through here. I was really wondering which way it was going, but that is, I do think this is suggesting something is worth persevering with. And that's what I feel I'm seeing here, pile one. Wow. Very powerful readings. Goodness me. Beautiful souls. Keep me posted in the comments. I love to hear what's happening in your worlds. It's really, you know, some of the sharing that you guys do. It's very, very inspirational in terms of your own process. So thank you. You know, I think when we share things, it really helps others as well. So thank you so, so much. Thank you all for liking, sharing, you know, being here, commenting, subscribing, and all the things you do that support the channel. And to those of you who are members and those who give back through the super thanks and donate and all the things you do, thank you so, so much. Beautiful souls, loads and loads of love. Pile 2, welcome to your reading. You have the card of self-sacrifice, which really does speak about kind of asking you to really evaluate whether, you know, are you giving more than you're receiving? Literally, can you evaluate and really consider your own well-being? There's no need to respond or react in a challenging way. This is more about acknowledging and therefore thinking about how you shift and create a change. And of course, the energy at the time of this reading, you know, whenever you come to it, the energy is all about shifting and changing consciously. So let's just check in and see what we find. Okay, I feel like you've actually got 2 angel cards coming through, these 2. So let's look at these both. You have Angel of Determination and Angel of Love. Well, that's pretty gorgeous. Okay, what else do you have? Angel of Determination, Angel of Love. Believe in the impossible. Oh, gosh, this is very, very, very beautiful. And I feel like I'm beginning to see what message is coming through for you. Person of authority, leadership, vote today. Gosh, I feel like you need to vote for yourself. Let's draw a couple more oracle cards, then we'll dive into your tarot cards. Yeah, I think you need to really, it's not exactly stand your ground. This is not what I feel I'm seeing here. It's not about standing your ground as such. It's more about making a very clear choice to do what is actually right for you, which is really, really interesting. Really interesting. Person of authority. I think this is about you voting for you. Believe in the impossible. It could be for some of you that you need to actually ask to receive the support that you need. Maybe you need to reach out to somebody, or in a situation. I mean, what if, for example, you're, I don't know, working overtime every day, staying late at work, but you're never ever recognised? Maybe you need to reach out and give yourself the vote and sort of say, actually, my time needs to be acknowledged and validated. In which case, you know, and really believe you'll be heard. Some of you may even have to actually talk to somebody in a position of authority, although in a way by doing so you are owning your own authority at the same time. We have a second card. I think it is. No, that's not feeling right. Maybe kindly have a second card from this deck for my beautiful pile 2s, please. Okay, that's way too many. Okay. I'm just going to put them back in. It's almost like I'm struggling to engage with this deck for your reading. Let's have a look at this first. I let go of the anxieties of others. Micro moon. Do you know, I'm just going to put that there, and if we need more, I do feel there will be another one. But maybe not just yet. I let go of the anxieties of others. I wonder whether people around you are, I don't know, this card connects to the moon in Pisces. And I think you might be unbelievably sensitive to the point where you really care about everybody, but to the point where maybe you give so much that you don't look after you. Maybe you're constantly thinking of concerns that other people have or express, and it makes it really hard for you to feel like you can actually step up for yourself. But I think that is what this reading is about. It's about addressing an imbalance. You have the High Priestess. Very interesting. We've got, you know, black and white showing here. And look at the web around her. I don't know if you can see in this card the web behind her. It's like we are weaving the web literally every day. You have the card of strength showing up. I'm seeing these and this one and that one too, all from the base. Maybe you need to get to the base of the matter somehow. You have the Ten of Swords. Yeah, something needs to end. Look at this. I mean, the imagery here is of somebody on a cross, like it's, again, self-sacrifice. It's kind of like, you know, Jesus sacrificed himself. If we go to the Bible, Jesus sacrificed himself for mankind. I think you're being asked not to sacrifice yourself. You have the Nine of Cups and the Moon, the Prince of Wands, the Nine of Wands, and the Six of Cups. I do think you are being asked to really, really consider the future, the shape of your future and what you are creating in terms of where you place your energy now. I think this is about investing energy for yourself. For yourself, it really, really is. And trusting that what you need will come to you. This is really, I will be honest, I'm having a little bit of a resonance actually with this reading. I will share with you in a moment. Wow, we've got the Tower. I think something will give one way or the other. I mean, I always think with the Tower, there's a song, isn't it, where something has, I think, is it Katie Turnstall? And it ends with something has to give. And I feel like something has to give here. The resonance for me, and I will voice it here because I have a second channel where I put my all zodiac sign readings, and obviously YouTube is shifting and changing. They're changing their policies, so YouTubers, we don't receive as much for our videos. I personally don't receive vast amounts anyway. I don't have, I don't get, I mean, please don't in any way feel that I am putting down my contribution to you. I am wholeheartedly dedicated to this channel and this community. But my second channel, I really I'm having to have a big review of it, because doing the all zodiac sign readings, it takes up a lot of time and a lot of energy. And literally my earnings from that channel last month were £2.47, and that's days of my time. And I'm really having to be really, really real. And yet I feel so bad about letting everybody down, you know, the people that follow the all zodiac sign readings. But I really realistically am having to evaluate. There is a limit to what I can really offer, and you know, it's better that I maintain my focus here on this channel and support you all as, you know, as best I can. I mean, I'm not in any way, you know, not wanting to contribute to you all in every way that I can, but on the other channel I think I am having to be really realistic. Otherwise I sort of feel that, you know, I'm going to probably burn out in terms of the time and energy that I'm, you know, putting out there. This channel is different. I think it is, you know, things, you know, are good enough here, and you know, and I'm so dedicated to all of you anyway. But it is interesting, you know, I am having to reevaluate for the all zodiac sign readings on my other channel. So, you know, I will just sort of share that because there is a resonance here for me. But I feel there's a situation in your world, my beautiful souls, where you are needing to evaluate. And I think that you are deeply sensitive. You really, really, really care. But you are being asked to vote for you, because it is a kind of a scenario where if you don't look after yourself, with the Nine of Cups, if you don't really look after your own emotions, then I just feel something will give, really. And I think that's what we're being shown here. I think it's really important for you to embrace self-care, and there's some kind of a situation where you're needing to consider the balance of what you give, and how you proceed, because what we do in the present moment is creating the shape of the future that we are literally manifesting. Let's draw some more cards and see how this might be panning out, and if we can get any more information and guidance. Loads of cards wanting to come out for you. You have the Knight of Cups. You have the Ten of Wands. Yeah, see, the Ten of Wands is a card that can indicate ultimately the need to break free from a restriction or an obligation. That is you know, that's the high vibration, is to free yourself from something. You're carrying too much. We have the Five of Swords. You have the Five of Cups. It's a difficult, I can see this is a really difficult decision for you. But it is, your cards are asking you to advance with the Knight of Cups. It also, with some of you, with the Knight of Cups, it could be that something looks quite good on the tin. You have the Queen of Cups as well, and the Five of Pentacles. 3 fives, how interesting. Now, the Knight of Cups can be a bit of a romancer. You know, a bit of a, like a slightly, sometimes it can be like that, something that looks really good. You know, it's all romance and all amazing, but it may not actually be, you know, it may not be sustainable. The Five of Cups is a card of feeling a bit bored, a bit fed up, a bit let down, a bit disappointed. The Five of Swords can indicate something. I mean, this is a whole other level. This is not connecting, I have to say, to my own resonance with this reading, because this is really different. The Five of Swords is a card where something is really unfair. Like sometimes something is not being openly, you know, openly portrayed. I feel that there is definitely something around you where you are absolutely, unquestionably giving more than you're receiving. And it could be that you're giving to somebody who looks, it all sounds great, but it's not actually. And I'm sorry if that is the case. It's almost like you've been really hopeful that it would transform or become something that's really fantastic. And I think you're giving, as I said, you're giving more. You're giving way more. What is interesting here, though, with the Five of Pentacles, now that's a challenging energy sometimes, but this Five of Pentacles, haven't we got this beautiful, beautiful wolf here? It's a card of loyalty. And the Queen of Cups, she's very emotionally attuned, highly emotionally aware. You have the Sun. Leadership, vote today, believe in the impossible. I think if you release your concerns about getting it right for others and you embrace what is right for you, I think that the energy is going to massively shift. So maybe you do need to reach out to somebody and say, look, I can't continue to do this. And then what happens? Somebody comes along and they say, I totally get it, that's fine. And things come back into balance for you. For some of you, it may be that you voice it. And, you know, it could be that someone doesn't take it well. But I think if they don't take it well, somebody new will come in who has a real loyalty to you. But your reading is really clear. It's really, you know, about shape-shifting this imbalance, because it's immensely important that you are looking after you. I feel like I now want to draw a card to go up there from this deck. And there it is. Look at that beautiful figure sitting on a hilltop, meditating and looking at our beautiful moon. I seek balance and grounding. Fantastic. That could not be better. This is really acknowledging, beautiful souls, that you are in need of an anchor point and a connection that will be in balance wholeheartedly. Whatever this situation is, whether it, as I said, it's connection to a person or a group or at work or whatever it is. However this lands in your world, your message is super, super clear. In the eclipse energy, the time is right for you to literally anchor yourself and make a very clear choice about some kind of element of your world that is not in balance, where you are not getting what you should be in a fair and balanced way, and making a choice with determination, following it through. I think that you will then receive what you need. You'll then receive everything that you are putting into the world. You're going to get it back. Angel of love. I think if you have a voice about something, I think you'll get a good response. But it's all if you have to approach a person in authority, or whether you are the person that you need to like literally step up and vote for yourself. However we look at it, I think we're being shown a really, really good response back. Whether it's the universe responding by shape-shifting and changing the shape of your future because of your choice and your decision, or it's an actual situation or an actual person or a group of people, whatever it is, I think it's going to definitely shift in your favour. And I think it's really, really important that this imbalance is addressed. And this is your reading pile 2. Beautiful souls, thank you so much for being here, for liking, sharing, subscribing, for all of you who are members here, all the things you do that support the channel. And thank you all of you who also do support my other channel. You know, it is wonderful to read for you, but I am having a big evaluation. But I'll post on the other channel to keep you updated on that one. Beautiful souls, I'm sending you all the love in the world. Loads of love, and I look forward to seeing you for another reading really soon. Pile 3, welcome to your reading. You have the card of being overcritical, which is actually connected to Virgo energy, to the new moon in Virgo. Now, this is an eclipse in Leo. You've got Angel of Unity. That's rather beautiful. Okay, I think you can come together with somebody peacefully. Maybe even like there's going to be some kind of a healing, where there's been a disagreement, or you've been feeling criticized by somebody, or somebody has been criticizing you. However this is, I feel a healing can occur, and that feels rather magical actually. It's very much in alignment with amethyst, which is a master healer as a crystal. Create your own paradise. Wow. Okay, I feel this one from the top is wanting to come through too, and be tender. Oh, that is so sweet. You might be being very, very, very critical of yourself, some of you. You may be judging yourself if something didn't work out, if there was a challenge, or, you know, a breaking down of a connection, a breaking down of unity. You may be giving yourself a really, really, really hard time, in which case your reading is really about asking you to not do that. Look at this. We then have caretaker, putting others first. Okay. Now you are being asked within this energy to lean into gratitude. Do you need to put someone first, or do you need to put yourself first? Let's get more information. Bringing value, service. I think this is about you being of service, of you really, really, really I think not being judgmental or critical of a particular situation, of yourself within something. If you're feeling like, if you suffer from imposter syndrome and you feel like you're not good enough, I think you're being shown that you are. You bring huge value. You don't have to put yourself down in a situation. But likewise, if you are, actually feeling, whether you're feeling judged or you're feeling judgmental. I mean, this is the energy here. Let's get more information. I'm seeing this one and this one. You have, I seek balance and grounding. Waning gibbous moon. I let go of the anxieties of others. Micro moon. Do you know, both of these cards, I think this was in pile 2 and this was in pile 1, which is kind of quite something given that we have, a lot of cards in this deck. I'm going to draw another one. I think we have space for one more. And then we kindly ask, actually it's this one, I think. I am magnetic to what I want. I repel what I do not want. Okay. I seek balance and grounding. Create your own paradise, which is about your own energy. Angel of unity, angel of balance, but you're being asked to be balanced. Let's draw your tarot cards. What are we being? Let's really try and get into this. It's like something needs to be either healed. Maybe it needs to be, the healing is within you. I wonder if your inner child do you need to look after the inner child in you? Be tender with yourself. What's going on here? Let's get more information. And those. Okay. You have the Seven of Cups, the Knight of Cups. You have the Three of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, and the Three of Swords, and the Hermit, and the Temperance card as well, back to balance, and then the card of Justice. Okay, just going to put this to one side for one moment because we're going to draw some more cards for you in a second. Let's tune in with what we have here. Seven of Cups. I wonder if you are idealizing or you have idealized a situation and it's not been as giving or as balanced as you wanted it to be. Maybe you entered something thinking it would be, thinking it would be a really strong connection or a really strong, like it could even be like a group, angel of unity. For many of you, it could be. You could have. I think it does involve maybe a group of people rather than an individual, possibly a workplace or even like a spiritual community or there's something, a social group or something where you wanted to make a contribution. But I think somehow, whatever that was, it didn't prove to be as giving as you wanted or as valuable as you wanted or as balanced as you wanted. But I think you had high hopes. And I think I think it's been challenging for you to feel. I think there's been a sadness, a disappointment that something didn't prove to be as good or as balanced is the right word, as balanced as you or as fruitful as you hoped it would be. I think because of a disappointment or a connection with something that maybe just didn't run well, I think it's left you feeling a little bit as though, I want to say it's a bit like throwing the baby out with the bathwater. When something doesn't work out, we can forget the good that came from it. I mean, I can give you an example of this kind of energy, actually. I mean, I belonged to a group, a spiritual group, for quite a while. And, you know, in relatively recent, you know, within the last 6 months, I actually chose to leave it because there were some things going on that didn't really resonate with me. They were not really ethical, and they didn't resonate with me. And I was actually massively disappointed and hurt by the outcome of it, because I had very much idealized that group and the people in it. And, you know, just I know within myself for a little while, it's like it knocked me off balance, and it's as though I lost sight of, I won't say I lost sight completely, but I certainly wasn't valuing to the fullest everything that I had gained while I was there, or recognizing that actually it was time, I was being guided, it was time for me to leave, it was time for me to move on, that I think I had gained as much as I would ever be able to gain, and I don't mean that in a selfish way, but I think I'd grown as much as I could grow within that environment. And I think retrospectively that the events that took place kind of pushed me to a point where I needed to leave, because I think if it had carried on being as it was, I'd have just carried on investing loads of time and energy in it, but I wouldn't have been receiving what I really needed to receive for me to continue to grow. In fact, if anything, I think my growth would have been limited. So retrospectively, I think it really had to happen. And I think I had to kind of go through a process of working through this sort of like reconnecting with the gratitude for everything that I'd learned and grown from within that group, but also recognizing it was time to move on, that it would have stifled my own growth and progression, my own service, my own calling actually would have been stifled if I had remained there. So it's kind of like shifting to a place rather than just sitting in the hurt or the disappointment that something didn't work out, you know, because I had really idealized it, I think. It's like shifting from that and really owning something in its, in a really mutually balanced sort of way where I appreciate everything I gained, but I also know that departing was the right thing to do. So I feel there's something about shifting into a place, you know, I'm not suggesting you're departing something. You may be staying in something, but it is about your energy and moving into a zone of full appreciation, whilst also, you know, sitting in that place of gratitude for what has been good, but also kind of, you know, honouring what you've gained, but honouring whatever choices have to be made or are being made or were made or whatever that is. It's like bringing you into a place of realness, and also recognising that if something has caused you to feel either judged, criticised, or for you to feel critical in return, which is interesting because, you know, going back to that scenario that I've just shared, I think I was very judged actually and very criticised. But it was really funny because in a way I sort of ended up feeling quite critical back. You know, sometimes you can judge someone for judging you or criticize someone for criticizing you. And actually, it was just important to sort of like shake it off and move into my own space of service and recognize I needed to move along. So there's something about this shift in energy so that you can then be magnetic to what you want. You know, maybe if something hasn't resonated or worked out, it is because you've grown out of it, because your magnetism, your energy is about something different. It's about something more. And maybe that had to happen because you have justice here. Maybe I think something has to come back into balance in terms of your perspective on something, a bit like the scenario I've just described, where I know, you know, now I think I sit in a place where, I mean, I've always been grateful for everything I learned, but it's like I've moved out of the sort of the heartbreak that left me feeling judged and therefore judgmental in return. You know, judging somebody for judging me, as it were. And I think I've moved on from that. Or I like to think I have anyway. Certainly if it pops its head back up or a button is pressed, hopefully I can do some dive into self-awareness and process that. But, you know, I think this is the kind of energy that's around your reading. Okay, so let's see what else you have. You've got the sun. You see, I think this is about reconnecting with the light. Shifting away, literally. If you've been judged or criticised, I'm so sorry. But, you know, it is really interesting how that does often evoke almost like a judgment in return, which suddenly means you're sitting, if you don't want to be in that energy, it puts you in a place where you almost are, it's like, if you think of emotions as like a commodity, if someone judges you and that judgment is thrown at you, it's like you receive that judgment ball, and then you start to try and analyze that and work it all out. Well, you're holding on to that energy. You're holding on to something that doesn't belong to you. It's worthy of observing it and processing it, but not clinging to it or over processing it. You have the card of strength. You have the Seven of Swords, which is interesting because this is about sometimes something that's under the surface or even underhanded. And you have the Ace of Swords. I think that there is a circumstance or situation, and I think you are being called to own and recognise the need to be quite decisive about, quite clear-cut about it, really, and really have the strength, if necessary, to cut cords. But it really is about cutting through the discord and centering yourself in the positivity and the growth and, you know, the direction that it's actually going to be taking you in because of what you have learned from the experience. But I am sorry you've had some sort of experience or are having some sort of experience whereby you are impacted on by the emotions and, I think, feelings and judgments potentially of others. I am so sorry. But this is about shifting to that place where you can honour and own the value from something, even if it was a challenge. It's time to move on. The Chariot. The Chariot is an energy where, you know, it's like we've got a black horse and a white horse. It's kind of, and they're equal. I mean, I think in a way it's kind of like the place we grow the most is often in the shadows, and I think often it's from the shadows that we can refine the light. And I think this is really about having a balanced perspective and moving through and beyond that space of what it feels like to potentially for some of you to be judged, but to then end up, as I said, sort of as I voice with my own experience, it's so easy to, when we are criticised by others, to sort of to criticise someone for being critical. And we do it with ourselves. If you've got a raging inner critic, I used to find this in my counselling practice, that somebody who had a very big inner critic would then, while they were trying to sort of learn how to not engage the inner critic, they would then become critical of themselves for being critical, which just like added to it, really. And again, it's just so natural. It's really, really human. It's a human thing to do. But my beautiful souls, this is something that can be, this is about shifting this energy, letting go, moving forwards, moving beyond. And the key is to do with the thinking patterns around this and what it's evoked, and really, really to realign in that space of amazing, making a choice and a decision to align in the light, with the light, to make clear-cut decisions not to engage. And if there's somebody who very sadly just doesn't resonate with you, it may be that you are needing to move beyond that. Wow, these are deep. Well, these are eclipse readings. Wow, I guess they are delivering. They are absolutely delivering. New moon eclipse energy. Here we are. So wow. Pile 3, this is your reading. Beautiful souls, if this is resonating with you and you'd like to make sure you never miss a reading, do please subscribe and press the little bell icon. And I am sending you all the love in the world. And yeah, really, really, if you have an inner critic, really try to not criticize yourself for being critical of yourself. Really try to cut yourself some slack. Be tender with yourself. Because the energy that we sit in is what we are effectively, this is what's generating the shape of our future. So if you want to be magnetic to what you want, whatever has come your way, whatever you pick up on in other people, whatever has landed from other people, you don't have to carry it. It's hard, I know, but this is what your reading is all about, really aligning the resonance of your own energy so that you can draw into you everything that you desire. Pile 3, this is your reading. Beautiful souls, I'm sending you all the love in the world. Thank you so, so much for liking, sharing, subscribing, and don't forget to press the little bell icon. Have I already said that? If you never want to miss a reading, I've probably already said it. Now I'm repeating myself, but do you know what? I shall role model the very essence of this. I shall be tender with myself and not criticise myself for potentially repeating something twice. Beautiful souls, loads of love.